Hi there. My name is Cory Skyy, and this is one man's journey to becoming a sexually confident alpha male. In today's episode, we are talking with one of my clients from Finland about his journey and how he went from living in total scarcity to now experiencing true personal freedom and having an abundance of women. I really think you're going to like this episode because we go into great depth on 3 of the biggest life lessons that he took from applying my teachings over the last decade.
In regards to women alone, how is your dating life improved and how is it now different from before?
Oh my God. Crazy stories.
I mean, let's not be too graphic about it.
What you can do to laugh? What you can do than laugh? It's the contrast. Everything is so. The contrast is so huge, so big. I remember when I was 17 years old, I was in high school and I really wanted to know, you have to become better with the girls. Back then I was one horny motherfucker. I really wanted to get better with the girls. So I started this journey and I started to do the mirror affirmations and all those nice tools that back then they were called like inner game. You practice your inner game, so your outer game is going to be awesome, so to speak. Obviously, it's something more than for men. In life, when you man up and you go start to do work things that you really want, when you get your hands dirty, so to speak, or when you get your hands wet, smelly, so to speak, fit for men. And yeah, before I didn't have any girlfriends. I was only motherfucker. I was young. I was, my emotions were up and down. When I started this journey, I noticed that, abundance. You start to understand more what is abundance. You start to feel that more, abundance. What it comes to women, what it comes to money, what it comes to freedom. I didn't have that abundance. I had more the opposite of abundance, the lack of. I felt the lack of. I felt bored. Before I felt like I don't have girls, I don't have money, I don't have anything really. That's what I felt. I felt lack of. When I felt like that before, it really manifested in a way that not so much girls, not so much of anything. But after, when I started this journey, when I started to feel better, when I really went to the front of the mirror, when I truly felt who I am, how good, how great I can feel every day, when I'm feeling better every day, when I'm thinking more of things that are more abundant, when you have abundant ideas, abundant feelings of abundance, your life starts to transform. But the progress, it takes time. I'm talking about years, not days, not weeks, years of hard work. You really have to work for it. You have to exercise your mind, so to speak. So you feel great, so you feel full of abundance. When you do that, then you realize, holy shit, really? Really? Really, all those girls, all those friends, really, it's my life really, if before my life was very boring, now it feels like a cheap porn movie, B-class porn movie, so to speak. You really are the pizza guy who goes, yeah, I'm going to deliver some pizzas, but it's something more than, delivering pizzas. It feels like more like a porn movie. Things are different, so to speak. You're feeling good, and or if you don't feel good, you know how to feel good. Your life is going to be much, much more difficult, and the contrast makes you laugh almost. So you have to self control, the self mastery, and when you have the self mastery, you can, and when you feel amazing, great of yourself, your life is different, so to speak.
Just from working with you over the years, something that I would just really found to be absolutely fascinating is you really picked up on more of my energy, and you were able to read between the lines rather than what a lot of guys will do, where they will try to dissect and break apart every word and take everything literally. And and you really valued the feelings much more so than a lot of others, and that really allowed you to experience that magic time and time and time again, whether it be you were meeting new girls daily or all the time, or having these incredible experiences, or just going on just adventures with friends or whatever it was. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, of course. Magic. Magic. Everything is magic. Everything is energy. It's hard to find balance. You need your intelligence. You need your reason. But at the same time, you cannot be your intelligence. You cannot be your reason. It's your friend, but it's the tool, but you are not the tool, so to speak. You have to learn how to use it, but you cannot be that. You are something greater, something more. It's something more than thinking, something more than intelligence. One thing that I learned when I think about my last 10 years is that it's true. You have two faculties. You have your heart, you have your mind, you have your intelligence, you have your heart. During the last 10 years, yes, I've been, reading between the lines. I would say I've been more, following my heart. I always ask myself what I truly want, what my heart wants, why I want to wake up every morning, why I want to get up every day, what I truly want, what is my passion, what's that something greater than I am, something greater, what my heart wants. I've been always following my heart. I think that's very important. I think we all know what we should do. We all have our passions, something that makes our heart beat faster, make us excited. For example, my heart always, every time when I go out, even today, when I go out, I feel excited. Deep down, I know what my heart wants. And when I follow my heart, I learn what I should learn. I do what I should do. I don't know how to explain it, but we can all feel our hearts. We can all feel that that's something greater within us. And if we focus on that, internal feeling more than if we focus on all these external validations.
How many times have you gone out, had one of those just what the fuck experiences, and just pinched yourself just to see if you were still alive?
Yeah, that's what I call a good night. That's a very, very amazing night when you really are pinching yourself. Is this a dream? Really? What the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, did that really just happen? Where am I? What is happening? But it's so true. You really do end up in so many unbelievably bizarre situations that just seem so far out of this world. Like, what is happening?
It's
You know,
like big
and then
ass porn movies.
and I guess that's the part of it that really makes it so surreal is where you realize that holy shit, like you didn't even really do anything. You were just there.
For example, last week I traveled to Siem Reap. That's one city in Cambodia. There are very nice bars there. Good people, you can have fun. I was thinking about, I want to have some good times. So I went there to drink some beers. But when you're feeling amazing, when you set out intentions to have good evening, good weekend, crazy things started to happen, so to speak. I was walking outside from the bar, and then you meet one girl, then you meet two girls, and it's funny. There were some prostitutes, but that's all right. I'm not judgmental. If you want to sell your body, that's all right. I don't mind. I really don't care. There was one prostitute, and or she said, "Yeah, hello, nice boy. Who are you?" I was like, "Hello, you nice lady. Sorry. Sorry. I don't really pay for sex. I don't, associate sex with money or something like. Sorry, I'm not a good guy for you." So, but then that girl say, "No, it's free for you." Then I was like, really, really. But your voice sounds like me. Sounds like mine. Are you really a lady or a lady boy? Then she said, no. I'm a real lady. And then she took my hand and she put my hand into her pussy. All right. Okay, I believe you. You are really I know you are now really a lady. All right, you are not a lady boy. That's great. That's great. Then that lady, took my hand. Then we went to the side streets. And then she was sucking my dick, and at the same time, her friend, another prostitute, came there, and then she, hello, she's my friend, and okay, I'm like, really, your friend? Oh yeah, nice to see your friend. At the same time, when she was sucking my dick, then I asked from my friend, what's your name? Really? You want to join us? You really want to join us? All right. Are you a really are you a lady boy? Because your voice sounds a little bit too manly. No. I'm a real lady too. Then I really those at those moments all right. I started all right. I think I need to take a taxi to my place because it's getting a little bit crowded. So yeah, so with that girl and the other girl, we went to my hostel. Hostel, yeah. So yeah, we were listening some music, having good time, and that other girl started to undress, and good times, good times. So yeah, you have to be ready for anything. Literally, you have to be ready for anything.
That's absolutely true. It's one of those things where your average guy is not ready for anything because he's so wrapped up in his head and he places so many judgments on other people, on women, on himself, and on what's possible that it literally prevents these wild what the fuck experiences from happening.
these were prostitutes, they just wanted to fuck, which is kind of unheard of because, if a girl's a prostitute, she's there, she's working, like that is a job. But when you change your attitude about prostitutes and just say, I just don't associate sex, women and sex and women with money because I don't view women as objects. I don't view sex as something to be paid for. It's just something to be enjoyed. When you change that perspective, there's just an example, just a pretty straightforward example of how the reality can change pretty quickly.
Yeah. Couple of days later, she came, to my place, 4 a.m. in the morning. So yeah. You really enjoyed those quiet nights. so you really enjoyed quiet bar nights, so to speak.
Oh, yep. It's really hard. It really is hard to believe half the shit that you get into. You have so many stories, so many unbelievable experiences. I mean, you only brought up the one with the prostitutes just because that just happened last week. But that stuff's happening all the time with you, and it's just every time it happens, it is just as magical as the first time.
Oh yeah, that's the real magic. I'm talking about the connection to really connect with each other. Those nights, they are amazing. When it's something more than sex or girls, when you really are connecting with each other, the connection that you can have with a girl, yeah, those nights. When you go out, you're having good times. You're having good times, enjoying, just being free. Not thinking about life, just enjoying, having a good time. Then you locked eyes with one girl. Then you see that one girl, her looks. She has something in her eyes, something holy. You don't know what is that, but and then you two start to get closer to each other, closer and closer. Those moments, they feel like eternity. I don't know how to express, but those magical nights, those magical evenings, those pure bliss, pure connection, getting to know somebody, and that's one of the best gifts, acts of love, what you can give to others. And those nights, they're worth it. Everything they're worth it. I don't know how to explain it, but something amazing to experience.
It really is hard to explain, isn't it? You just look a girl in her eyes, there's just like something magnetically drawing you together. It's like this universal pull that brings you into each other. And this can happen in a situation where you just go out for a couple beers and walk into a bar, and literally within minutes, you both, I mean, she's coming up to you, making out with you, and just things are getting hot. And 10 minutes later, you're heading out to go back to your place or her place or up to the rooftop. Or what's really amazing about it is because you enter into that pureness of the moment, all inhibitions are gone, all thoughts are gone, all worries are gone, all judgments are gone. And the better that you get at that, the more you allow women to go into that state of being. You're basically giving her permission
to let all of her inhibitions go, let all of her worries go, let all of her insecurities and fears and doubts. You're giving her permission to let all that stuff go. Would you say that through the process, you develop a much deeper level of love just for life in general?
Yes, love and memory, they are connected with each other. So if you really do things that you really love, that's very important. Many things under love, appreciation, gratitude, there's still so much to learn when it comes to love. Love is close to God. It's hard to understand the God, so it's quite understandable. There's so much to learn when it comes to love. I'm still learning it. I'm still learning what it means to love every moment. I'm still learning what it means to love a woman, love others, love your relatives.
There's a big difference between, oh, I met this girl, I fell in love. Oh, I met this guy, I fell in love. The love that you're speaking of here is more of the unconditional, the purest level of love.
More like giving unconditionally. That feeling, love, you really want to give something unconditionally, giving yourself.
There's really just been such a misunderstanding when it comes to God and sex. To experience the pureness and the love from God, you just have to be more in touch with the purest you, which is spirit, your spirit, right?
Yeah, yes, who you really are. If I really think about being on this journey over 10 years, it has brought me closer to God. When I first started it, I was pretty materialistic, so to speak. Very just looking for girls, just looking for get better. Not not so much spiritual. And then, when I'm getting better, learning more, getting experiences and so on, then I start to realize that power that we really are, that power, that deep knowledge about yourself, then you start to understand life more. Then you start to understand cause and effect. So I was sick yesterday. Before I was sick, I was emotionally very distressed, very stressed out. So I feel sick after being emotionally very stressful. So I can understand that everything that happens starts within me and it goes outward. So I need to focus on myself. So if I focus on myself, because I create this reality where I live, so I have to go within myself. And when you go within yourself, you start to learn more about the God. You start to learn more of those spiritual aspects. But before you can be spiritual, I learned that you have to get your hands dirty, so to speak. You have to know the material. You have to experience life. That's one thing that I learned. That many people, they follow their parents, they follow what others are talking to them. They don't have their own original ideas. They're just following. They are doing their work because they heard that you have to work 9 to 4, 8 hours in a day, and then you go home, then you watch some television. But it's quite understandable. That's where I started from the external into internal. I think there's one allegory that I learned. You know, everything starts from the mind, starts within. Everything that you can see, your house, your city, your family, Everything that you can see, there existed before you, not physically, but as an idea of a table, idea of a house. That idea existed, in somebody's mind before it's even got manifested, realized. Then you act. Then people had an idea. That idea, translated into intentions, and intentions translated into acts. So it started to exist. So everything that you can see existed before all as ideas. That's the true secret of everything. Everything comes from the invisible and become visible.
That invisible is unexplainable. That's the mystery behind it. That's the frustration behind it. And that's the magic and beauty behind it. And if you're not living it nor experiencing it, then that means that you're living within your intellect more so than the only important time in your life, which is this moment. The only way to experience what it is that we're talking about is living in the present moment.
Yes, absolutely.
From working with me over the years, and if you could sum it up to 3 of the biggest things on how your life has improved, what would they be?
Well, when you get better with the woman, the females, and you are a man. If you want to have good girls in your life, you have to be a good man. So first thing that I learned is to be a fucking man. Is to have that fucking power. You are the fucking man. You are the power. When you say something, it's going to happen. When you will something, it's going to happen. You have great intentions. You got your hands dirty. You are now really a fucking man. There is no any obstacle in your life. There is no any other power that can take that away. That realization, that belief. No, it's not a belief. It's more like knowing. You know you are a fucking man. You know you are that divine power. Everything that you say or will, it's going to happen. That feeling of strength. When you experience things, when you overcome your weaknesses, when you overcome all those excuses, when you really take your power back, you feel like a fucking man. You become real. You become a real man. And when you are a real man, you will have a real woman in your life. If you're a real man, you attract real things in your life. That's one first thing.
So really basically what you're saying is fully accepting and embracing and owning all parts of you as a man, and fully acknowledging and owning your power, the power that you have as an individual, as a human being here on this planet.
Yes, you are a real man. If there's a will, there's a way. You know how to learn how to use your willpower. You learn how to be a man. If you learn your power, you learn how to be a real man. And then, the second thing that you can learn is the self-mastery. Before, I didn't know who I am. Am I my emotions? Am I my intelligence? Am I my mind? Not really, because emotions change. My mind, it can change. One moment my mind can be feeling great, and one moment later it can be something else entirely. So I cannot be my mind. So the self-knowing, you start to know who you really are. the self-mastery, self-control. You learn how to react. You learn how to control your emotions. And when you are fighting against your mind, so to speak, doing mind exercises, when your mind is fucking with you big time, sooner or later you start to learn how to control your mind. You start to realize, now I'm not in a moment, so it's not wise not to be in a moment in that situation. You start to learn self-control. You know how to control your mind, you know how to control your emotions. Then you know how to start to create things. You know how to set up intentions. You're more aware of your mind, more self-conscious. You know, if I really think of my days, I know when I'm feeling bad. I know when I'm feeling great. I know when I'm really not feeling anything. So self-mastery. You know how to control your mind so you don't start to think silly things and get lost in your mind, so to speak. I think that's very important. You learn how to stay on your course, how to stay on your journey, because you are mastering yourself. It's just the beginning when you really start to realize who you really are. You know how to get out of your mind. You know, there's something more than your mind. That's a big realization to have.
Absolutely. When you're in control of your mind, you reach that point where when you have that level of awareness, things in the external outside world just don't have that same effect on you as they once did. That's really the essence to self-mastery, and the things that I help my clients with is really recognizing and disconnecting not only from the physical and even mental, it's disconnecting from the drama of the world. It doesn't mean that the drama is not happening. There's still going to be drama happening all over. Not everything
Yeah.
is. When you are dealing with women, emotional beings that are really just kind of driven by their emotions in every aspect, you enter into a lot of shit. But you learn how to be a fucking man, because when you're dealing with women, or many women over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, your patience will be tested time and time again.
Yeah.
you will develop a whole new level of patience. And I mean, because the drama doesn't stop, but what does stop is how you react to it.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I learned, when you learn how to be good with women, you learn more how to be a good man. You learn, when you are dealing with women, I don't know, women have that very nice ability to teach you. Women are very good at bringing up some internal issues of yours, so to speak. If you have some problems or self-esteem problems in your life, women are very, very good at bringing it up and making you to react or something like that. That's what I learned. They teach life because they make you to react. I don't know how they manage to do it, but
There's a couple different things. On the one hand, it's more, women are more emotional beings than men, right? They're more in touch with their feelings and just emotional. But whether you're a woman or a man, you are in touch more with your emotions. You are also in touch more with your own heart, or gut instincts, intuition. You have more of a intuitive sense about you, so you will be able to see through more bullshit.
they bring it up, your deepest parts of your insecurities and all that. They bring it up somehow, and then if you are conscious of that, you can change that. So thanks to women. Thanks for their trauma, and thanks for their emotions, and thanks for their intuition.
For me, like ever since I was younger, I was more like a woman in that sense. I was more in touch with my emotions, my feelings. I was just more living for that moment wherever it was that I was and whatever it was I was doing, which allowed me to be way more intuitive, and it allowed me to connect with women on a deeper level as well. And it allowed me to grow and uncover a great deal about myself. But back to what we're saying, you are going to have to accept the fact that you will be tested, you will be beat down, you will be shit on, you will be left out to dry in the process. So many guys, they look at somebody like me, they want what I have because they are very smart academically. They think that they can work with me and bypass the bullshit and just get all the insane results. But that's not the case, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's not life. If you really want something, go after that. There's nothing wrong on going after some external things if you really want that, truly. You know that truly. Do you really want it or not? I'm just saying that, what is truly life? I learned to, appreciate life. I learned to, understand more of life when you start to understand life more. That's the point when you start become, more spiritual. After getting some experience under my belt, if I really think about life, what is life really? So you seek out those external things. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That's not life. We are on this planet 70 years, 70 or 80 years, or something less. I have 50 years left or less. I don't know when the Reaper comes. But I started to ask myself questions. What is life? What is before life? What is after life? You know, if you really think about this life, 70 years. What happened before 70 years? Where were you when 70 years ago? Before you ever was born? And what happens when you die? What happens after death? It's only 70 years when you are on this planet. It's just a small time. 10 years just flew by. I'm like, what the fuck? 10 years flew by? What is, life is so short.
Well, and that's the thing is you realize that you only have 70 years and that's not a lot of time, but then it's not even really 70 years because you got to knock off about a third of that for the amount of time that you're sleeping, right? And then you're put into this educational system. Let's just say you didn't go to college, you just 18, 20 years, or you went to a community college. So you knock off a third of your life. Now you just knocked off 20 more years. And now you're ready to go out into the world and live. But then society tells you, oh, wait, now we want to take 8 hours a day, every single day until you're 70 years old from you. We want to take 8 hours a day out of your life here on Earth.
Yep.
You're literally giving up hours of your life just to drive back and forth to work. This whole 9 to 5 bullshit is exactly that. It's bullshit. You're basically selling your time for the betterment of the economy.
Indoctrination, how you are indoctrinated of doing things that are not so efficient, not so smart thing to do. You start to realize that big indoctrination, what is going around.
Work less, live simple, enjoy life, live free.
Yep, that's one question, I started to question, what is death? What happens when you live your 50 years? You die. What happens after you die?
No matter how you look at it, your time here on Earth is limited, period. And there's no way that anyone could claim to actually know the true answer to that question, right? Because we can't understand it. That's the essence of God. We have God within us. That's through spirit, we are connected to all living things, and all that's fine, but it's something that we can't explain. I mean, I've met far too many guys out there. They're trying to break it down and understand it and figure it all out. But who cares? If your time is limited here on this earth, stop worrying about tomorrow, stop worrying about yesterday, and start living. The question really comes down to, because I went down really deep in my own spirituality, and I was asking these questions. I was asking some really, really deep questions, trying to figure it out.
And now you have some
answers. Yeah, I have an answer. My answer is who the fuck cares? Does this feel pleasant or not? We have a choice to ask ourselves a simple question. Do I like to feel amazing, or do I like to feel like shit? Do I like to feel alive and joyful and blissful and excited? Do I want to feel feelings of pure ecstasy and pleasure? Or do I want to feel feelings of stress and anxiety and heaviness, pain and suffering? That's our choice. And how we feel each and every single moment influences and directs our tomorrow.
So everything comes to the moment.
Everything comes down to, how do I choose to live? Do I want to live a good life? Do I want to live a shitty life? If I want to live a good life, then I just need to understand the basic laws of the universe. And I need to understand who I am. Something that never changes. What we put out is what we get back. Now, that does not state what we want, we get back. What we put out is what we get back. So many people get really fucked up on this because they think that it's what we think we get back. But that's not true. It's what we feel. What we feel in this moment is what we are radiating outward to the universe. From that moment, the universe will respond to the energy that you are putting out, which then influences your tomorrow.
Yep. Exactly like that. Your feelings, your thoughts, your general well-being, you're coloring your life, so to speak.
And with this understanding, you recognize how powerful you truly are. And you recognize, holy shit, I created all that fucked up stuff that was happening in my life. It was my own creation. It was nothing outside of me. Holy shit, that wasn't done to me. I did that to myself.
That's a big responsibility, a big burden.
That is a huge responsibility, which nobody wants to fucking take. So they fill themselves full of distractions, such as porn, alcohol, drugs, technology, becoming super smart intellectually, watching sports, watching football. All that is a distraction designed to pull you away from facing the only thing that will allow you to experience what it is you truly want to experience. And that is the acknowledgement of who you are and realizing your true power.
The longer I go on this journey, you learn how to live. You're closer to true, the absolute.
If you believe it to be true, it's true for you. But beyond that, you have to understand the basic laws of the universe. You're tapping into more of the fundamental truths, right? The fundamental truth of, doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person, whether you've done good things or bad things in your life. If you take a good person and a bad person, and you walk them off the top of a 100-story building, they're both going to splat. That's the law of gravity.
Yep.
It doesn't change, right? It is what it is. It's always constant. There's another law, which is the law of attraction. What we put out is what we get back. It's always working. The biggest difference in you before working with me was the fact that before working with me, you didn't recognize your power. You didn't see yourself fully as a man. You didn't accept full responsibility for your life. So you allowed yourself to basically run on default, allow circumstances to define who you were and how you felt about yourself and how you viewed life and how you viewed women and how you viewed dating, right? Well, if you let your life run on default, obviously that life is going to seem like it's against you. Then that's when you start blaming other people. You start blaming circumstances. You start blaming the asshole that hit you in the car. You start blaming God, blah, blah, blah. So that lack of is how you felt in that exact moment in time, which then translated into what was coming back to you a day, 2 days, 3, 4 weeks, year later. So everything that was coming back to you was of your own creation, of the energy that you were putting out. Now, you said that what you're feeling now versus then is abundance. All right. Well, that's quite the contrast, isn't it? So now you have the essence of true abundance and beauty and love and gratitude and full appreciation, and you're just flooding all these feelings of excitement just for life and right where you're at, no matter what the fuck you're doing. Now today, right now in this moment, you're putting out these amazing feelings, which is energy. That is the language of God. That is what the natural law of attraction responds to. It's working 100% of the time.
Exactly. If we use colors to color our life, so to speak, we are colors. What kind of colors you want to use to your life? Good colors like abundance, beauty. When you understand life more, you understand more about your beliefs. You understand, you realize that I want to feel great. I know what makes me to feel great. I know what to do. Then you start to feel great, and then you're coloring your life into greatness.
We each have that ability to choose how we feel in each moment. You know, I'm a Libra, so if you can imagine like the Libra scale, each one of us has the ability to tip the scale one way or the other. Anything on the left is ugly feelings, darkness, heaviness, feelings that of stress, sadness, loneliness, depression, anger, frustration. And then on the other side, you've got happiness, joy, love, fulfillment, bliss, well-being, excitement, passion.
Yeah.
So if you kind of look at it that way, you have that choice. Well, do you want to tip the scale this way or this way? That's your choice. But you are the one tipping that scale. There's nothing outside of you tipping that scale. If you're not taking full responsibility for your life, then yes, external circumstances are absolutely controlling your life. And they are controlling how that scale is tipped. That is the importance of going through this process and taking full responsibility of who you are as an individual, who you are as a man, who you are as a spiritual being. That is the only place where you'll be able to fully reach that point where you can actually say that you are in control of your life. Most people will go through life kind of coasting through, but what's really truly scary is going through your entire life running on default, allowing circumstances and other individuals control what you are manifesting into your world.
Absolutely.
At the end of your days, your life is going to flash before your eyes, and there's not going to be much there because it was a life that was just merely trying to get through the days within the lines that were set for them.
And that's not really living.
That is you reaching the end of your day saying, what the fuck did I just do? All right, so I asked you for the three things. The first one was just that you learned was the full acknowledgement of just being a fucking man. And then the second one was the deeper essence of really figuring out and understanding who you were, self-mastery, and going above your mind, getting in control of your mind and body and emotions. So what is the third big takeaway with my coaching?
It's, becoming more from materialistic standpoint, becoming more spiritual, truly spiritual being,
And that is going from I believe to a very, very deep rooted sense of just absolute knowing. It's a oneness. It's a complete knowingness. It's not something that you've concocted in your mind. It is just a deep sense of knowingness.
Understanding, realization. I don't know how to explain it, but I start to trust God. Hard to explain in how exactly, because
it's more of you're living more of a faith-based life, which is basically faith is believing in the unknown.
Yep, exactly. When you're on this journey, you're experimenting girls, feeling abundance. Of course, you want to know. You want to know. All right, I felt that. I went after what I really want. But what I truly want, it all leads from material to spiritual. At least for me, You start to think too more on faith, knowing of the unknown. Who you really are. I feel, if I close my eyes, if I close my eyes, if I think, I'm going to get burned alive, holy shit, people are going to burn me alive. I'm going to lose my body. Literally, I'm burning away. They start to burn me. I feel the pain. I feel the suffering. I can feel my mind screaming when the faculties of mine is getting destroyed. All the pain, all the suffering. Then what is beyond suffering? What is beyond my body? What is beyond my mind? All right. They are burning me alive. I'm dying, but I'm still existing. I am what I am, even without my body, even without my mind. I'm still existing. It's just an illusion, who you really are. You start to realize, holy shit, they're burning me alive, but I'm still this power. I'm still existing. I'm something more. I'm something unknown, infinitive.
And that, my friend, is by far the most beautiful place to be in. Once you reach that level of true abundance within the mind, you reach a point where you're like, wow, this is pretty fucking amazing. You experience this abundance over and over, and it makes you happy. It brings you pleasure and it's enjoyable, but it doesn't give you that true essence of what we're all longing for, which is that deep, deep level of acceptance, complete acceptance, unconditional acceptance, unconditional love, joy, bliss, and pure ecstasy.
God's grace, the kingdom of God. With glory.
Stowe, man, it was great talking to you, bro.
You too, man. You too, man.
Every time we talk, I mean, I love talking with you. I mean, you've come so far. It really is incredible just seeing the progress that you've made and the life that you live, and just all, I mean, I love hearing about all the amazing experiences that you're having and all the different places that you're traveling to. And it's just it's one of those things. It's like a breath of fresh air, bro. Like, you just got it. When you live and you truly feel alive, you can feel that in people, and that alone will trickle down and touch and impact more lives than you could possibly ever imagine.
Yeah, in this progress, you become better, you become good. It's all right to be selfish, but I learned to be less selfish. I start to appreciate, inspiring, teaching, spreading out inspiration to others. A little understanding based on experiments, little opening up, clear communication, a little truth, a little piece of wisdom, can sense the destinies, four families. It just makes you a good man, a good person. Yeah, you start to appreciate, less on materialistic things and more on like, it feels so good, if you inspire some people and you change his or her for destiny. And that's something, something deep, better values and goodwill, charity, freedom, liberty, and happiness. Please. You know what? You are a great teacher. And I just want to say to new guys that when you learn life, you can, learn from the experience, learn from you, and learn from nature. Learn from the sun. The sun always shines. The sun always gives. It doesn't ask anything in return. It's always science. It makes things grow. So strive towards being more like the sun, Just shine. Just inspire. Just give.
Be the light for others. You have the scale. Which way do you want to tip it? And by making the conscious decision to tip it the way you would like to experience, that allows you to be the light for others.
So new guys, it's time for you to write your own story. Be the hero of your own story. We all have our own story. If you think about Hercules, Odysseus, they have their own stories. It's time for you to have your own story. So let's make that story something amazing, better than the most movies. It's the amazing story written by you, written by the God. It's the glorious story, amazing story that is even more than the story of Hercules or story of any other mythological being. It's your story. Just start writing, just start creating that story. Or you can go to work. You can go to work and watch some TV shows, see what the Donald Trump is doing or something like that. It's up to you. You can have an ordinary, normal story where you go to work, then you go to bar, and then you die. Or you can have this glorious story. But from the bottom of my heart, I really, really, really hope you really seriously start to write your own story.
Because if you continue to live other people's stories, you'll never fully live out your duty here on earth. As a spiritual being having a human experience, it's your duty to live fully and accept and embrace all facets of you, including the fact that you are a spiritual being and you have chosen this particular mind and body. It is your duty to live fully. It's your duty to live authentically and express yourself fully. It's your duty to go beyond what it is that you believe to be possible, as expansion is why you are here. It is your duty to love, respect, and value all parts of you, just as you are. And it is your duty to align with the natural laws of the universe, which will allow you to tap into the beauty, the true beauty that lies within the natural flow of life.
Thank you, man. Some wise and holy people say that liberty and duty goes hand in hand. Thanks, man. Now I understand a little bit more about the connection between the duty and the liberty.
You're welcome, bro. Always learning, always growing, always expanding. You had gone through one of my year-long group coaching programs. How was that experience for you in regards to your personal growth?
It's very, very, very important. If I really think about it, every 2 weeks there are new challenges, new things to learn on, the growth that you can get from those programs. When you are talking with other guys who are struggling with the same problems than you are, and when you do the challenges, you're growing every week. Of course, I like those programs because I noticed that when you grow, it's very difficult to get the feedback about your progress. Seems like it's very easily not to see the progress by yourself. But if you have very good people around you that can see you what you are doing, and when you are talking with them, they can show you where you are growing, and they can show you what you need to do next to get better. So you can get valuable feedback. It's also the inspiration, the right atmosphere. It's great that you are on this journey alone, but even greater if you can share that journey with the others, and with the others that have the similar goals than you have. So it's very, very amazing. I can remember all those amazing memories, moments, experiences after those challenges, after a night out. I have some final words. You only live once, so live to the fullest. Learn from it. You are here on this planet to learn. What I've just told you, what you just told us, it's based on experience. It's based on learning. You are here to learn. It doesn't matter if you are fucking up royally. When you are learning, you will be fucking up royally. Just understand that, when you are learning all these things, when you are experimenting, you are going to fall down many, many, many times. You're going to feel pain. You're going to feel all that. But the real secret is that, you have to take the essence of that all. That's the learning. When you start this journey, just fucking own it. Say that I'm going to own everything what I do. I'm going to take the full responsibility, and I just know I'm going to fuck it up royally. I accept that, and I'm going to learn from that. Because all pain, all suffering, you can learn from that.
I mean, I just want to add to that. It's not learning in the traditional academic sense of learning that Asto is referring to. Learning through life experiences. That is by far the most important thing that you need to really grasp. Don't try to avoid feeling like shit. The more you suppress those ugly feelings, the more they will come back to haunt you in the future. Don't try to suppress your anger. Don't try to suppress your sadness. Don't try to suppress your loneliness. Don't try to suppress your frustration. Don't try to suppress anything about you. The key is to learn to acknowledge it and accept it and just be with it. It is your mind. It is your own mind. It is your inner dialogue that is the only thing coming in between you, where you are, and you going from the experience to having what it is you truly want. But the mind is very powerful. It will create excuses. It will try to rationalize. It will justify. It will bring things up into your physical reality to distract you from creating change in your life. And my job as a mentor is to bring that stuff up and bring awareness to it so you can work through it in life experiences. And in those life experiences, that is what Stowe was referring to, where you have to learn. That's where you learn it, because you can listen to the words that I speak. You can understand what I am saying with your mind intellectually. But until you go out and you live an experience and have this experience or that experience, whatever experience it is that you need to have, you will not fully understand what it is that I'm trying to convey in that moment.
Yeah. If you really think about it, we are building a house, a temple for ourselves, First you have to get clean. You have to clean your plate, so to speak. You can read books about it. You can understand what is cleanliness, how to make it look clean. But if you don't get your hands dirty and really start to clean and learn how to clean, you never get your place clean, and you only attract cockroaches and freaking rats if your place looks like shit. So you have to get your hands dirty.
That is a journey. It is not a one-time deal. It is not something that you can go and attend to once in a while, whenever you feel like it. Just like cleaning your house. You're still living in the house, you're making a mess, and you're like, yeah, I felt great. I fucking cleaned that shit that one time. No, it's called maintenance.
It's growing it up, making it better, decorating it and cleaning.
A lot of guys will get in and they'll start, because they start applying my teachings for that one very specific outcome, which is women. The second they start attracting women, they stop doing everything that they did to get to that point in the first place. And then their life goes to shit. And then they come back to me saying, oh, I don't know what happened.
That amazed me. That amazed me, People start strong and then just stop doing things, and then They wonder what happened then.
Yeah, you stop. I mean, if you stop watering your garden, it's not going to grow. You have to keep it up. You know, that's why I call it Sky Lifestyles. This is a lifestyle.
That reaches the sky. That goes stairways to heaven, stairways to sky.
Thank you so much for taking your time, waking up at 6 a.m. to do this interview with me. I'm sure the guys got quite a bit out of it. And I hope it really inspires more guys to get involved and really jump on this journey to really tap into the magic of life and that true abundance, because it really is a beautiful place.
Good, anytime.
Hey, bro, I really hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to learn more about the process and the journey that Stowe has gone through that allowed him to really transcend his entire reality, be sure to check out my website, www.coryskyy.com. That's CORYSKYY.com.